Welcome back. In the following feature, you will get to meet a young lady who, taking after her parents, is bent on giving back to the community and making the Philippines proud of her as well. Sit back and enjoy this feature.
Anna Meloto is co-founder of Human Nature, a relatively new brand in the market that espouses natural and organic products.
Human Nature is a social enterprise that was co-founded by 3 volunteers of Gawad Kalinga. That was me, my sister Camille Meloto, and my husband Dylan Will, who's not Filipino but he's been a Gawad Kalinga volunteer and advocate and has been living here in the Philippines for the past 11 years. So the idea came about when we were actually in the US, in California, in 2007. I had just given birth to my second child at that time, but we were there for work to promote Gawad Kalinga and to get more Filipino Americans to come to the Philippines to build. But whilst my husband was doing that, Camille and I, Camille had just graduated from college. She came to help me out in taking care of the baby. We started going around the different pharmacies, supermarkets, and we noticed that there was a mainstreaming of organic products that was happening in the US. Whereas before, organic and natural products were very, very difficult to find. They were very expensive.
As early as 2007, organic products were already streamlining in retail shops in America. They were no longer relegated to specialty shops and easier to find in big department stores. Anna's sister Camille researched on the ingredients used for these products and found that most of them can be grown in the Philippines, like coconut oil and aloe vera, for instance. When they returned to the Philippines in 2008, they met up with people knowledgeable in organic products, bent on producing some products which they can offer in bazaars and specialty stores. In the Philippines, no one was really doing this on a massive scale, so discovering a small space for their products, they proceeded with caution, armed only with a small capital.
It was all our savings. We didn't take a bank loan, but basically whatever we had in our savings, we put into the business, and it was really our way of saying that we need to be serious about this business. It's not just, you know, a hobby or a sideline. It was successful very quickly, and we were able to recoup our capital in just less than a year. And then since then, we were just working on really expanding through our profits. So we didn't really take any investment or any bank loans until last year when we had to set up our own manufacturing facility. So we now have a factory in Laguna.
But that is getting ahead of the story. Camille, Anna, and her husband Dylan found their niche and offered a healthy alternative to chemical products. So when they came back in 2008, they sourced their materials, worked on an attractive packaging for their products, and launched Human Nature on the same year.
We didn't have a lot of apprehension, maybe because we didn't know what the challenges were going to be. So we were very naive getting into the business. But in a way, it served a good purpose because it made us bolder. There was a lot of education that we had to do with our consumers, and we did that by really engaging in terms of our customer service. We were the ones who were manning the phones, taking orders, answering emails if there were any questions.
They tried to educate their consumers through their packaging on what natural is, the difference between organic and natural, the benefits of natural versus synthetic. On their initial venture, they were selling online first towards the Christmas season, with no employees except the 3 co-founders and some help from family members like their mom. Camille and Anna, of course, are the daughters of Gawad Kalinga founder Tony Meloto, from whom the family members imbibed the idea of sharing one's blessings. And Human Nature's first paid employee was a member of the Gawad Kalinga community.
the following year, in January, we had to quickly put together a scheme for direct sales, and that became our main distribution arm. So at that time, the first branches that we set up were in Naga, in Davao, Cebu. Those were the first couple of branches. And now we have about 30 branches all over the Philippines. So they're like freestanding stores, like this one. They act like a franchise of Human Nature. And altogether, the head office and all the branches, we have about 40,000 dealers who also sell Human Nature.
Even if supermarkets were already bugging them to have their products displayed on their shelves, the owners prudently thought of the need to manage their growth as well as their resources. So they waited until 2009 to go full blast on their selling campaign. Their first retail partner was Restance, who, Anna says, understood and believed in their advocacy and gave them prime space on the retail outlets.
They were able to give us really good prime space in their retail outlets, and they were able to give us the space to tell our story, because I think that's what makes us very unique against all the other cosmetic brands.
Anna's husband Dylan, a Brit with Pusong Pinoy, had left behind a very successful computer games business in the United States when he left everything to come to the Philippines with his young family. But among all three co-founders, none of them had any chemistry business or manufacturing know-how. All they had was heart and a lot of faith in what they had set out to do: provide more people with quality products that are natural or organic at affordable prices. Credit goes to Camille for the very name Human Nature, a brand with a heart. Their sunflower oil had a large following immediately, and their bug shield directly impacted communities. For products directly linked to communities, 100% of their sales go back to their community fund. They invested in citronella growing communities and other raw products for their growing product lines.
Our biggest category is hair care. We also have skin care. We have kids and baby care. We have color cosmetics. We have household products such as powder detergents, liquid detergents, and dishwashing liquid. We have body care, pet care, and most recently we also started a category called social enterprise, a social enterprise category. These are not Human Nature brands, but basically it's a venue for other social enterprises to market their products through our catalog, through our website, through our stores, even through our retail partners. We facilitate them getting into the mainstream.
They even have coffee, bags, and shirts on top of their wellness products. A very real challenge they had to face was working with the people from the Gawad Kalinga community, how to make them ready for a corporate environment, how to make them more productive. Now that they have put up their own manufacturing facility, they employ over 300 people, mostly from the Gawad Kalinga community.
We're very excited with venturing into manufacturing, because it's another area where we think we can have a big impact in the community. For the longest time, the manufacturing sector has been really languishing because they're always on minimum wage. Even though they're technical experts in their own fields, there was no security, job security. They were always on contracts. But we're trying to do things differently with our manufacturing plant, wherein our people would get more than the minimum wage. Already in Metro Manila, we give about 62% above minimum wage. And when we opened our plant in Laguna, where the minimum wage is even lower than in Metro Manila, we were committed to giving the same rate that we give in Metro Manila. And our plan is really that once they pass the probation period, that all of them will be regularized so they can have job security. And that way, we hope that there will be less people who will have to go abroad, and there will be less people who will migrate to the cities, and it will improve quality of life in the areas where it's needed the most. We see ourselves more as a social enterprise engaged in cosmetics rather than a cosmetics company that tries to do social enterprise also.
As if there wasn't enough on their plate, the group is even open to mentoring smaller enterprises so they can go mainstream with their products and have a bigger impact on more communities. Now, Human Nature exports to Malaysia, Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and even to the United States, where their distributors stock up on Human Nature products and sell them through their websites and bazaars. Expansion of their markets is also in the pipeline. Every 2 months or so, a new product is launched.
From the beginning, even when we were just locally distributed, we had our eyes on the international market already.
Their formulations are 100% Filipino, and proudly so. The founders of Human Nature are inspired by the Filipino people, and they dream of a Philippines that is poverty-free, where the marginalized are productive and live decently. Theirs may seem as a Cinderella story where the founders combined savings, meager as compared to other big profit-oriented corporations, snowballed into a major social enterprise that now employs hundreds of people, providing them with better job opportunities than they would have dreamed possible for them. Anna has a message for would-be entrepreneurs out there.
I think they should dream bigger. I mean, entrepreneurs already dream big that, you know, they want to be rich, they want to provide for their family, but I hope that their dreams would also encompass those that are not related to them. That they will start dreaming for the Philippines, they will start dreaming for the poor, that whatever idea that they have for a business, it will not just enrich themselves, but it will be able to enrich at least 100 families, 100 poor families preferably.
Camille, Anna, and Dylan are proud to see how their employees have grown, how many communities outside of their own have been helped and continue to be helped. But if you yourself want to see how Human Nature's natural and organic products can benefit you and your family in a more personal way, check out their products.
Hello everyone, I hope that you'll be able to check out Human Nature. You can see us through our website, www.humanheartnature.com. We're also available in over 30 branches all over the Philippines. And lastly, for those who like to go do their grocery shopping, we're available in Rustan's, in Shopwise, in Robinson's supermarkets, and also in Landmark department store.
That was a very inspiring story of how such young people can take on the challenges of providing healthy alternatives to chemical-filled products, and in the process help out whole communities be productive and gainfully employed. Kudos to Human Nature and to Miss Anna Meloto. Our hats off to this proud Pinoy entrepreneur.